wrong, but like, hear me out, okay? I said this a lot lately. Like, Black people are not y'all's Jesus. And this is what I mean by this, because people gonna be like, aren't you supposed to be like Jesus? Black people are not your Jesus. We are the ones who they want to turn the other cheek. We're the ones who they want to just let things go, forgive and forget, and not address and not be hostile, not get upset. We're just supposed to be quiet old little us who's just grateful to be seen. That's all and we are not that. If we are going to hold all of us to a standard of being Christ-like and being like Jesus, all of us across the board needs to be held to that standard. Yes. But don't say, Black people, stop being so angry. Stop doing cancel culture. Like, stop doing all these things, because you're supposed to love everyone. Y'all are talking about us, but y'all are the ones who are canceling all of it. You know what I mean? Like, it's always putting us in a position where we're in the wrong for everything. When we are upset about something, we need to calm down and be more like Jesus. When we speak our mind, we need to be quiet and listen first and be more like Jesus. Yeah. We're not your sacrifices. We got our own people who sacrificed for us, who try to make a better way for us and try to bring awareness for us. And so for us to try to always try to be passive to make you comfortable, that's draining.
And I mean, it's draining for all people. Yeah. It's the culture wants us to be that way. But then at the same time, if we go to a psychologist who's trained, they're like, that's toxic for everybody. You know? And I completely agree. I think that first of all, let me preface it this way. I don't see anyone telling a Jewish person not to remember Holocaust. I don't. In fact, I got 3 emails. Wow. What was it, 2 weeks ago? It was around the same, or a month ago. I got 3 emails. Let's remember Holocaust. Yeah. We're going to have a symposium. Wow. We don't want to talk about that. Wow. We're going to want to invite you to this it's a pandemic. We invite you to this virtual symposium, and we're going to remember Holocaust because of the evils of what happened. Let's honor the Jewish community. Then why, in God's name, should I not speak about reparations? Yeah. Huh? I shouldn't speak about Jim Crow.
It's the truth.
I should not speak about Reconstruction. Yeah, man. I should not speak about the prison system and privatized prisons. Yeah. Where a lot of the prisoners are Black and brown men. But I should sign up for your virtual symposium to remember the Holocaust. I don't see, shame around Ramadan. I don't see shame. We're about to celebrate an Irish holiday, St. Patrick's Day. I'm not even Irish. All of us are gonna be in green talking about we're doing crawls. Like I'm not even Irish. Yeah. Pinch me about. Then why should I dismiss a portion of my history because it's an ugly evil and an ugly sin? Wow. We're acknowledging everybody else's sin, right? It's a trick of, and this is gonna sound, y'all gonna like this girl, but it's a trick of the enemy to keep a people from remembering they're wrong, how they've been wronged. Don't remember. So basically you'll keep playing into the game. Don't remember. Wow. No, forgiveness does not mean to forget. Yeah. It means to remember and to acknowledge. Our community wants to forgive. Yeah. But y'all don't want forgiveness. Y'all want forgetfulness. Forget. That's not forgiveness. Yeah. Forgiveness is I'm acknowledging what has happened to you, and I am going to repair what has been done.
That's good. That's literally it. We're not... I know that there's going to be people who are watching this that just are not ready for that conversation. Like, this isn't, like I said in the beginning, this isn't something that's just people are irritated. This is deeper than an irritation. Like, I think we think it's just like making people uncomfortable and always talking about this like sad stuff. And if you only knew how deep this really was, you would want us to celebrate every single day. Yeah. It would be Black History Year. Literally.
And I mean, it should, because everything that you look at was formed by a Black person.
Yeah. Literally. Everything.
So you should thank every Black person you meet for having every essential item in your home. Even your GPS system was by a Black woman.
Yeah, man.
Everything. Your whole life was crafted on the backs of Black people. It was. Let's acknowledge it, right? So, yeah, we're grateful for Rosa and for Martin and for Malcolm, and we're grateful, for Dr. Carver, and we're thankful for Charles Drew and all of them. They're awesome. Even Charles Hamilton Houston, which is my idol, the one who kicked butt in the courtroom. I am grateful for him. But there are other people that we don't acknowledge because of their radical activism. And because they make us very uncomfortable. We don't hear a lot of gratitude for Fannie Lou.
Yep.
You know, you don't hear a lot of gratitude for her.
Yeah.
But she did something that other people didn't do.
Yeah.
And she was willing to risk everything for her community. And so, I guess I'll say this and you'll guide the conversation. I don't want to hear about your Christianity if it doesn't provide some type of relief to your neighbor.
Wow.
Jesus says, who is my neighbor?
Yeah, man.
Jesus said, it's everybody around you that's your neighbor.
Yeah.
The powerful story of the Good Samaritan isn't that, somebody came and helped. It's that his own people left him forsaken. And someone who he shouldn't have had dealings with, culturally should have never touched him, should have never cared about him, picked him up, paid for his time at the end, and continued to pay the medical bills afterward. Your neighbor is everyone, regardless of their shade, their shape, their gender, their sexual orientation, their gender identity. Well, we don't want to talk about that in church either.
Yep.
That's your neighbor too.
Yes.
Whether you agree with it or not, that is your neighbor, right? And so those people, everyone, all of us, are worthy of being respected, of being loved, and of being taken care of. Yeah. In the most humane way possible. Who am I? Because we like to talk about grace, I get it. But who am I to forfeit the grace of God because of your pigmentation? To say, you know what? I'm going to give grace to her and her, but not to you. Yeah, man. Or to forfeit grace because you identify as something that I don't agree with, your sexual orientation. Well, I'm going to give, that's not my role in my job.
I was talking to a professor one time, and it reminds me of them saying that I think he's a white man, and he said, sometimes I think my people want to help, like those of us who are learning the Black experience, learning what y'all are going through. He said, we want to help so much that it turns into, I'm scooting over and offering you an invitation to the seat at the table. And he said, the truth is, none of us are deserving to be there. But it's this mind frame of, I'm going to help my neighbor. I'm going to invite them into our Christian world. I'm going to help them, be hospitable, love them, give them money, provide. Because I am it, and they need me. Yeah. And the reality is, none of us are deserving of Jesus. We're not. And so even that mindset of, we're saying, like, are you willing to do something? Are you willing to sacrifice? Are you willing to give and to be radical at times? Some people are thinking, I'm going to do this, but they're not doing it out of a place of, I should because it's the gospel. They're doing it out of a place of, I'm hero and let me help. Yeah. It's like a hero syndrome. Like, you can come to the table. Yeah, like where I'm already at, you can come. It's like you didn't even deserve to be there.
Exactly.
And that's the thing. How do we deal with being helpful in speaking and doing the right thing, but also understanding that none of us are deserving of that. None of us are deserving of his grace. I think that's a challenge for some people.
I think it's challenging for all people.
Yeah.
I think, because sometimes we get to a place and we think that we arrive there on our own.
Yeah.
And that is on us. I think the things that we can do is walk in humility and to say, you know what? I'm not deserving of this seat. Yeah. Right? But I know that they should have the opportunity to come here. So since I'm not worthy of this, I'm not going to stand in the way of them having that opportunity.
That's it.
So I'm not saving anybody. I'm just not standing in the way. Wow. So if I know that my neighbor is way more qualified for this promotion, but they want to bring it to me, hey, thanks for the consideration. Yes. But they are more qualified than I am. Yes. You should consider them. Thank you so much, but you should consider them.
Yes. That's it. It's not, I think a lot of when we talk about white privilege and we throw that word out, people get like on the defense. Yeah. Like, I don't have white privilege. I grew up poor. First of all, let's say this. Stop associating black with poor and struggle. Because there's a lot of us out here who are very wealthy and successful and are not living in...
Yeah. We're not in Chicago.
Yeah. Like, stop associating that, first of all. And stop saying I don't have white privilege because I grew up in the struggle. Okay? Yeah. You have white privilege regardless. And because of the deeply rooted evil that this country has gone through, that privilege is not just going to be taken away overnight. Right. So what we're saying is not to get rid of all your clothes and all your money and all your cars and your job, like, and live this struggle life. But with the privilege that you have automatically, what are you going to do with that? Right. Are you going to speak up when you see somebody being mistreated? My mom's basketball coach in high school, she was riding around with a family friend, and he got pulled over and had drugs in the car. My mom was just 16 years old. She was on the ground with her hands behind her back from the cops. Like, they did too much. Like, could have arrested him and it would have been fine and had someone pick her up. They put her on the ground with her hands cuffed behind her back. Her basketball coach rode past and didn't say anything. Just rode past, looked, and kept moving. What if something would have happened to my mom in that moment? You didn't stop to interfere or say, hey, like, I know her, like, she's fine, like, what could she do? I'm checking in. But it's those moments of you knowing that we're powerless in that moment. We can't do anything. Something bad could happen and you choose to keep driving. Yeah. It's those moments where you can stop, and your privilege is gonna make the cops turn and look and say, maybe I should consider this. And no, it's not right for the cops to have that bias of looking at you and seeing, oh, maybe I should rethink my decisions. But the reality is that's there. They're gonna look at you and see somebody as less threatening. So the privilege that you have in that moment, like, use it.
Exactly.
Like, don't dismiss it. You can't get rid of your privilege like this, but with the privilege that you do have, what are you going to do with it? Right. That's what I say. Like, it's unfair. Privilege is, it's honestly, it is unfair. It's a hard thing, but the evils, I always say, it's just deeply rooted evil.
It is. And I say, hey, those of us who are in the minority, who have education privileges, who don't leave home and never come back, you know what I'm saying? Who have privileges of coming from really stable families, use your own privilege. You may not have the race privilege. You're never going to have that unless the world starts changing in the next 40 years and we're going to become the majority. That's what they're projecting. Yeah. You know, that's kind of what the data is saying, because people are like coming into more interracial relationships and things are kind of moving out of that. We'll see. Yeah. However, as of right now, use your education privilege use your family dynamic privilege. If you speak multiple languages, use what you have to create opportunities for your brothers and sisters. Mm-hmm. And advocate for them. If you see something happening and you are in a position of leadership and they're harping on this young black girl, black boy, hey, let me just tell you what's going on. This is not what you think it is. You know, they're not like that. I don't want you to have them in that light. Advocate for your those who are part of your family. Yeah. We're all a part of the same family. Advocate for them. I had a young woman who worked with me at my old position, and we were around the same age roughly, and she did something in our job, and my employer was actually going to let her go. Wow. And I remember he sat with me, and I said, why don't you consider this? Mm-hmm. She needs her job. Yeah. Right? Yes. She needs her job. Wow. So instead of being competitive, which I've seen a lot of black women do. Oh yeah. Speak on it. Right? Speak on it. And using it as an opportunity to get ahead. Wow. Why don't we say, you know what? Why don't you consider this and give her a little more grace? Yeah. Because I know that she got a lot of this going on so that she can be successful too. Wow. But what we do with our privilege is we become competitive. And we want that one trophy seat in the case, not knowing that it's bondage. Wow. And we basically undercut our brothers and sisters to get to people who do not accept us. Jeez. So instead, let's protect each other and say, you know what? Now, if you're wrong, I'm coming in like, sis, yo, this is our job. Yeah. We got to make sure, you know, you got to show up on time. Mm-hmm. Blah, 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 blah. You need something to wear? Here, yeah. That's family. Yeah. Let me get you something, blah, blah. But in front of those other systems where they're automatically viewed through bias, protect, cover. Isn't that a Christian term too? Man. Isn't that what we're supposed to do? Doesn't the word say that if our brother is weak and stumbling, that we are to what? Strengthen our brother and to cover them? Yeah, man. See, this is the real word and faith are not separate from each other. They come together. So if I know that Jordan's up for a position and we're up for the same position, I'm not competing with her. Yeah. I'll let them choose based on the qualifications. Yeah. And if she gets the job, I send her a gift and I congratulate her because she's my sister. Yeah. Man. See, we want the world to give us opportunities that we don't give each other. That's it. Yeah. Oh, they discriminate against us and blah, blah, blah. But we don't stand together. Mm-hmm. Why do we have so many factions within our community? We do. Yeah. If we would come on one accord like we did this summer. When we got together this summer with the death of Ahmad. Yeah. It's been a year in February with him. With Brianna. Mm-hmm. When we gathered together, we showed the world that we are powerful together. Yes. When Stacey Abrams went and flipped Georgia, she showed the world that when we gather together, we are powerful together. So it's not me versus her or us versus them. It's, hey, we're gathering together to change this system. Yeah. So I'm going to recruit young women to get into this legal field. She's going to recruit young women or men into her field. Yeah. And we're going to fill these empty spaces. And we're going to use our education privileges or our opportunities through mentorship or whatever we've been afforded to help each other. Yeah. And then our white allies are going to use their privilege to say, you know what? Yeah, I realize I don't deserve to be here, but I also realize that you deserve to be here too. Yeah. And that's how we're going to do that. And that is how we change the world. Mm-hmm. Listen, you can pray all day, and I believe in prayer. So I'm in Christian leadership. Yeah. I believe in that. I believe in prayer. I believe in fasting. There's some things that only come through prayer and fasting, right? Exactly. That's the word. Yeah. I also believe that faith without works is dead. I believe that James practical gospel. Yeah. Right? Yep. And there's some things that you have to take, like Frederick Douglass says, you got to pray and you have to move your feet. Pray with your feet. Right? Wow. So you pray. God gives you a plan. and you go and you do it.
Mm-hmm.
But don't tell me you're praying because you're scared.
Mm. Wow.
Oh, I'm praying on that. No, you're scared.
Yeah.
Let's acknowledge the fear, and then let's get this ball rolling.
Yeah.
Because there are people connected to you that need you to stand up. In whatever way. It doesn't have to be big and dramatic. You don't have to go to law school like I did. Maybe God didn't call you to law school. You know, you don't have to do what she's doing. Maybe God didn't call you to do what she's doing because she's in Christian leadership as well. However, you can, on your job, if you see a customer is being mistreated, speak up.
Yeah.
If you see that your manager is following a young boy around a store, speak up. If you see if you see 3 police cars and only one person, slow down and see what's going on.
Yeah.
That's what happened to me. I got pulled over, and this beautiful young woman, I think this is right after Breonna Taylor's death.
Wow.
She stopped her car and said, and she saw I was by myself. It was like a speeding ticket or something like that. She stopped her car and said, "Are you good?"
Wow.
She didn't know me from Adam.
Yeah.
She didn't have to do that. She stopped what she was doing and made sure that there were eyes on me during that interaction.
Wow.
It's the little things.
That's good stuff, man. Whew. That's good stuff. We all need it. We all need it. And it's a constant learning thing. It's not, it's I always say, if you're scared about doing something, when you do it, that fear like leaves. Like every time you're willing to go to bat and you're training, like if you're training for a fight, like boxing, every time you get hit, you know, eventually that right hook ain't gonna hurt as much as it did the first time. Like you're gonna build that, and that's just the beautiful process, and that's the hope that I have, that one day is gonna get better. If I don't look at the future, if I lose hope, everything will feel draining.
Yeah.
I have to remain hopeful. And I can get frustrated. I can get upset. I can get angry. Like, I'm human. We're all human. So I'm not going to say, oh, let's just, Jesus is coming soon. It's okay. Like, I can be upset about right now while still having hope for a better tomorrow.
You can.
And that's what I'm excited about. Woo! What a you ain't have to come and show out like that, Simone. You came in here like I'm about to shut it down on this podcast. But at the end of our show, we always do a quote, lyric, or poem that relates to the topic. So I asked Simone to bring one, and she brought about 3. Overachiever. I bought one, but you want to go first or you want me to go first? I'll go first since you're the guest.
Okay.
I'll go first. Okay. Mine is by one of my heroes, John Lewis. I met this man. Oh. Listen, I was like, hey. Like, I was like a fan here. I was like, how you doing, sir? Like, I just admire that man. Like, the fact that you marched, like, for us, not at 30 years old, at like 19, 20, you're doing what I'm 23, like not even doing yet. You're like, that's bold. You're just bold. That's the one word, John Lewis, bold. Okay, so this is my quote from him. If you see something that is not right, not fair, not just, you have a moral obligation to do something about it.
Yes, I love that. I love that. Y'all, I have so many great quotes.
Go ahead, please do them all.
You want to do them all? Okay.
I'm going to clap for every one of them.
This is so much. You probably be like, we can't invite her back. These are so good. Okay. The first one's by Mark Buchanan. And he says, the Pharisees had an ethic of avoidance and Jesus had an ethic of involvement.
Wow. No, that's good.
That was good.
That's good.
That's really good, ain't it? That's
Wow.
really good. And that's true. I might just send her the other ones. But these, that's what it is.
That was a good one.
Yeah.
I like that. Well, what a show we had.
So great.
This was exciting. I hope we said something that helps y'all out. But until next time, my loves. Bye.